Welcome to the State of Scottish Football. I'm Paul John Dykes, and today I'm delighted to be joined by three members of Haddington Athletic. We've got Drew Donaldson, who is the chairman of the club, Ryan Grant, assistant manager, and of course Scott Bonner, you're the manager. How are you doing, guys?
Good.
Yeah, well, good.
We've spoken a few times, Scott, about Haddington Athletic. You've not been in here for about a year, but a lot has happened over the last year. Where were we last year when we were talking to you about Haddington and aspirations?
Well, obviously we're in the middle of the worst of the COVID situation, so it was coming out of that, and at that time I was the assistant manager and Joe Hamill was the manager. So a lot's changed in the last 12 months. We got offered the opportunity to go to Musselburgh, but I decided to stay on at Haddington, and Joe chose to take up the position at Musselburgh. But I just felt myself that I really enjoy being at the club and that as well, and I couldn't leave the players and all the hard work that we had put in the previous 3-4 years. So my decision was to stay, and fortunately the committee offered me the manager's job, so it was an honour to take that, and I've enjoyed it ever since I've took the role on. And the last, I don't know what it is, 8 weeks has been really good. It's good when you're winning, obviously, but there'll be some dark days ahead, no doubt, but that's when we want everybody to stick together and work through it.
You know the thing, Scott, last year when we were speaking, it was quite clear you had a vision for Haddington. So when a club comes in who are a league above Haddington and obviously they want you to join there, it shows a great deal of loyalty for you to stick with it. But was it unfinished business for you because you've seen a long-term vision with Haddington?
There's been a lot of, I think that we've laid the foundations, and there was a lot of hard work that went into it. And for me personally, I don't know, we can achieve what we want at Haddington, and you've got a great committee there. The environment is like a right welcoming family environment, and that there's everybody's like in it together, I feel. So and the players, that they're putting in all the effort, and like as you say, is with the vision. So like last year we were talking about all these young laddies, and everybody was saying, you maybe need experience and everything, but now they've all got 30-40 games under their belt, and everything I said last year sort of come to fruition. So it's now time to build on the foundations, and there's still a lot of work to do. I'm not under any illusions, and it's like there's a lot of hard times ahead, but we can now see the fruition of that hard work that we've put in previously, and I can only see improvement from here on in.
The fruits of the labour, Scott. To your left, we've got Ryan Grant. You're a former player at Haddington. Talk to us about your career at Haddington and how you come to be the assistant manager with Scott.
I was very fortunate when Scott had taken on the job. I just so happened that week I went down to watch him on the Wednesday night against Arneson, just to pick up another game, just to see what was going on, just to keep my eye in when I wasn't involved with a club. Scott phoned me on the 11 o'clock on the Friday night. Can you help me out tomorrow? We've got an away game. Then you get the bug and you're back in again. We've got a game Tuesday. So I was back in on Tuesday. Then he said, we've got another game Saturday. Can you help me again? 6 weeks later, we're twice a week in this Saturday, and absolutely loving it. I know how Scott works. We've coached together before. We've worked, we're friends over the years. So it was an easy fit, and going back to a club I played over 2 spells, 4 years in total. And yeah, committee still, same guy still there. But yeah, we're definitely going in the right direction, and I've been impressed with the squad we've got so far and the foundations he has put in the last 3 or 4 years. That's the hard part, the early parts, and now it's steadying off and going in the right direction.
Drew, we've spoken before about your history at the club. Last season was massive with regards to the Scottish Cup. Being able to play in the Scottish Cup, give us a wee bit of history for anyone who is a fan of Scottish football who doesn't know how a club like Haddington can get into that kind of level of Scottish football and play in the Cup.
Well, I suppose it all started about maybe 5, 6, 7 years ago. We were noticing some of the junior teams had a membership of the SFA and were able to play in the Scottish Cup. So we found out that if you paid the SFA some of money, started the ball rolling for your membership. And I think I'd said to the guys, I think we should try and get our membership. At that point, still thinking it would be playing junior football, but the Scottish Cup was a lucrative competition. And we did that, and then nothing really happened for a couple of years, and then I think there was a move, rumblings about some clubs going east to Scotland, and we could see the advantages of getting into the pyramid So it just rekindled the whole thing about getting our membership. And so we were one of the first few clubs to commit to making the move to East of Scotland, which is the best thing we did. And it started from there. So we had chats with SFA guys about what we needed to do for the licence. Basically, we were told initially, if you just build spectator toilets and a medical room, that's all you need. So we did that. We had our audit lined up, and this email comes out saying for entry level you need floodlights, and that was a huge body blow, because floodlights, it's an expensive project, and I kind of thought this could be dead in the water, but we were fortunate. We've got John, JBMS, our main sponsor, John Buckley. They're in that line of business, so we got various permissions, and in record time, I think the floodlights were done in about 3 months over quite a tough winter, and we just switched them on the night before the licensing meeting, so we got our membership, and then we were in. So it was absolutely brilliant, and everybody worked their socks off to achieve that. So it was a great moment.
For someone who has been involved in that club for years, Drew, and a massive football fan, Scottish football fan, how proud were you when the lights were switched on for the first time? Because you must see the future at that point.
Yeah, I can remember being round there that night and hoping it was all going to work, and I'm sure the guys knew it was going to work because they knew we were right up against it. But I never ever thought I would see floodlights at Millfield. In fact, I still have to pinch myself when I see it. And the boys were training under the lights last night, and it's fantastic. And it's not just the lights. The other guys, some of the guys in the committee we've been doing loads of work on the ground, and it looks. I think Millfield's one of the best grounds. There's lots we can still do, and we've got plans maybe to put in a stand. That's the next big project. But no, I think the club's come on leaps and bounds, both off and on the field. And when it all comes together, it's absolutely brilliant.
Millfield, Scott Bonner, as a manager, I mean, I've been down a couple of times, and it is really impressive, as Drew says there. How important is that to attract new players to the place? Because there is a right buzz around it. I've noticed on social media that the fans are coming back as well.
There was a big crowd there. Jude caught me on the way when I was going home on Saturday and says it was over 400. I think they maybe got the numbers wrong with the first attendance. So it was amazing to see so many kids in that there. That's coming in as manager. That's one thing I would like to see, is like galvanising the community and getting as many kids and families through the door to go and like watch the team play and start becoming like a big club. So if we can get averages over, I keep saying to Drew, we need to get over 200, but so we've done that on Saturday. But if we can average that, and then even more, because it's turning into a big town as well. You're getting all the new houses that are getting built as well. Like, so there's like how many? I don't know, maybe 3,000-4,000 houses have been built in the surrounding area. So if we can produce something on the park that people will want to come back and watch as well. But seeing so many kids on the pitch at half time, in the stands and everything, it like all goes well for the future, because they're the future of the club as well, Paul. So I think maybe in the past with junior clubs that were getting separated for the community, and there wasn't a lot of, it's like stagnating, I would think. Kind of maybe get the odd player for under 21s or whatever it is now, but with being involved at Portobello as well, and then you've got Haddington. We're going to have a massive infrastructure of players coming through in the next 2 years. I don't know, other clubs aren't going to realise like the standard of play, and it's not just like the second level or the third level. It's top players that are going to come through. So that's another thing that the club's going to benefit from, and it's going to be like it's exciting times ahead. But it's up to us to keep coaching the kids when they come through, and they're all going to be into the same sort of way of thinking and the same philosophy. So and it's a great environment to play their football as well. When you come down, you hear even other teams. I heard a couple on Saturday as well, like commenting on the surface with the groundsman John Henderson and Jamie Martin. They're putting in a lot of effort there as well. So everything's on the up, and it's just a case of keep improving and keep grounded as well, and no complacency. Can't have any room for complacency, and just keep taking it a game at a time on the playing front.
You spoke about philosophy there, Scott. One thing that becomes pretty clear when we're talking to you is your focus on youth football. Could you just explain to us what your plans are and what's already in place with regards to what you've done with Portobello and any connection the players might have with Haddington in the future?
Well, what we want to see is like them coming through. I think we need an under-20, so we're setting there's things in motion there to get that up and running for next season. And we want them like once you see all the players are all similar, and they're all technical, they're all quick, they're all like good attitudes, good kids. There's no like we get them at a young age and we try and work on their attitudes right through like 5, 6, 7. So is it hard on them? Maybe hard on them, but like as they get older, they're all like totally and utterly focused towards their football. And then that's shown with our 05s are a good side, those 6s have won everything. Like they're the only team that's won something at their age group. Those 7s have won everything, the only team that's won something. We've started 08s, they're sitting at the top of the league as well. You've got Haddington, got like some good teams coming through as well. So if we can get that infrastructure and the raw channeling in there, then we can create like we want to have a situation where we've maybe got a 20s left back, a 17s left back, and the first team left back, things like that. And if we've got that for every position and we're sitting with quality, then that's when we know that we're starting to build a proper club and not just a team that will last for a season.
Ryan, you are probably in a good place to talk about the style of football because I know what Scott's vision is, but tell us about Haddington. If I come down to Millfield to watch your team playing, what should I expect?
An exciting game, plenty of chances, that's for sure. We're creating 5, 6 chances per game, comfortably good chances. We play quick. We're not just a counter-act team that some other clubs are. We can play out from the back, from the keeper, full-backs, whether it's playing at centre mids. We can play round teams as well, and we have a real good variation in their game.
Now, Drew, Scottish Cup, you were talking about your pride at the lights getting switched on. But that was a prelude to actually playing the game of football in the Scottish Cup, and there was quite the journey last season. So talk us through that as well.
Last season we got drawn against BSC Glasgow, who are in the Lowland League, so 2 tiers above Haddington, and they play their games at Alloa. Not sure what the history of that is, but so we had to go to Alloa, and unfortunately it was in a time where spectators weren't allowed. So it was a bit disappointing, and BSC in the run up to the game had been scoring for fun. I wasn't too well one Saturday and I'd missed the Haddington game, but they were at Dalkeith in a cup tie and this was getting live streamed, and they were 5 up at half time, and that was typically what they were doing to teams. So we were just hoping, I think, you get through the first 20 minutes and settle down. Anyway, 4 minutes in, and they get a corner hit to the back post, and this guy scores a World Cup goal, and we're 1 down, and you're thinking, oh, here we go. But the boys settled down. We missed an absolute good chance as well, and we got in at half time 1-0 down. That Scott and Joe made a couple of changes, and the second half we moved from being 1 down to 3-1 up, and just to make things interesting, we gave them a penalty so that everybody was biting their nails the last few minutes, but a fantastic 3-2 win. 9 men as well. Yeah, we lost. It was a bit of a melee, let's say, but it was a great win. And the unfortunate thing was there was nobody there to witness it. And I believe that we were the first team from Tier 7 to knock a Tier 5 team out of the Scottish Cup. So a wee bit of history. We then got a home draw against a Highland League team called Formartine United, which had to be played on Boxing Day, and the weather on Boxing Day was shocking. And again, we matched them 0-0 at half time. We'd the wind the second half, which I'm not sure was an advantage because it was so strong. But one of their guys hit this shot that looked like it was heading to the River Tyne, and the next thing the wind caught it and the goalie did the Rovero, and we lost this freak goal, and then we battered them for the rest of the half and scored with 5 minutes to go, and everybody's thinking, well, we'll take them in extra time, and one of their few attacks, this guy scored a fantastic goal for an amazing angle, and that was us out of the cup. And it was kind of hard to take because I felt that we more than matched them, but a great experience, and just sad that there wasn't anybody there, because that would have been a huge crowd at Millfield that day. So disappointing from that point of view, but a great experience, and you get a wee taste for it, and we want more. We definitely want more. We've got more coming up.
Scott, I spoke to you about a year ago for the first time, and you were speaking about your ambitions, and you appeared very ambitious at that point. And then you see the journey, and you're playing in the Scottish Cup, and as you say, it's getting streamed, and you're watching it on BBC on the website, and you're progressing into another round. You're knocking teams out that are a couple of leagues above you. What have you learned that you can implement into this season?
I've learned like that we can match these teams. The things that we're doing at training on the Tuesday, Thursday is allowing us to match them, so we've just enhanced that this week as well, going into Saturday's game. So we're going up there with we respect Devon Vale. They've got a proud history in the Scottish Cup, and I even remember them as myself, seeing them like the results and things like that, just growing up, because I'm quite anal with things like that with football. Like I look at attendances and everything. I'm probably obsessed with football, to be honest with you, but we're not going up there with any fear whatsoever. So the players have trained well this week. So what I've learned is that we can thrive in that environment, Paul. And as Drew touched on there, we want more of it, and the dream is to get a home game on a Friday night live on the telly, for people for the committee like Drew and that have been there for 50 years, and give them memories that'll like last forever for them. So that's a big thing for us, is going up there, try our best, hopefully get a positive result and then get that Friday night fixture. That's my ambitions anyway. And then another one.
Scott, Ryan and Drew, thanks for joining us in a State of Mind studio, and all the best for your Scottish Cup endeavours with Devon Vale.
Right, thanks Paul.
Thanks, Paul.
Cheers.
Thank you.